fun week of pro pickleball action at the Linsner Family Tennis Center. And we have one more match coming your way here to close out our coverage for the day on Tennis Channel. Ben Johns and Collin Johns taking on AJ Koller and Thomas Wilson. So you've got the brothers against the cousins. So a family affair in full effect, and you got Ben Johns left box right side of your screen. You got Thomas Wilson on the same end of the court as Ben Johns, and then the right box you got Collin Johns on the left and AJ Koller on the right. And you told me you played at Purdue alongside Thomas Wilson.
I played at Purdue alongside Thomas. When I hadn't seen him in a couple years, and all of a sudden I go to Vegas to a pickleball tournament, and there Thomas Wilson is, and he's come on very strong in the last year. Definitely one of the top talents in the game. AJ Koller, I played with him back in the day. He's come on in the scene in a major way as well in the last year, and partnering together has been a great force. They usually give the Johns brothers a lot of trouble. They're very quick, crazy hands, but Ben and Collin, you know, are the team to beat. It's going to be tough. Ben's the best player in the world. I cannot wait for this one to get kicked off here.
Yeah, Ben did not play well in singles on Thursday. He not only got eliminated from being able to win gold, he didn't even advance to the bronze medal championship. He got knocked out of the losers bracket pretty promptly. But he came back with a fury yesterday alongside Annalie Waters in mixed doubles. And he will play alongside Annalie for the title tomorrow.
It's usually a bad sign for the rest of the draw when he loses in any event, because then he comes back in the others and wants to prove a point.
Yeah. Dave Ben's hanging out with Matt Manassi, pickleball McNasty, if you will. And we are just about set to go here in Cincinnati. Love the video boards. This is the debut of the video boards for the PPA Tour.
Game one, time in.
So here we go.
0-0-2.
Starting off at 0-0-2, and Thomas Wilson gets us going.
Point.
And a quick 1-0 lead. John's making it look effortless.
Yep. He keeps the body quiet, allow his hands to do all the work, keeping the paddle out in front of him. Textbook. Guys like Ben Johns, Simone Jardim, they kind of invented the new age game here. So if you're at home, take note.
Right down the line for Collin. And that gets the Johns brothers on the board.
Looked like he was going through the middle with that little shoulder shimmy, and then threaded the needle down the line.
Second serve.
Ben with the misfire into the net, so we'll move to the second serve at 1-1-2.
1-1-2.
Johns puts it away. So an early 2-1 lead now for Team Johns.
Sorry.
Collin and Thomas just going back and forth. Collin tries to switch it up, but it goes long.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to, the height control we talked about, tried to give it a little bit different height and look, but went a little too high.
And now we're knotted up at 2. AJ Koller, who played hockey for much of his life, looks like a hockey player.
He has all his teeth, though, I believe.
That's no easy accomplishment when you played 16 years of hockey.
That's right. Lost his hair, though, so maybe that's making up for it.
Well, he pretty much always has a hat on, so. Gets a friendly roll there. Wow. Quick hands and great placement by Ben Johns.
Yeah, Koller trying to lift Ben up there with that flick. Ben's seen that one too many times before.
Collin puts it into the net, so Collin is the older brother out of the 2 Johns.
2-2-2.
Very accomplished tennis player in his own right. Got into pickleball later after a tennis career.
Side out. Two, 2-1.
So back over to Koller and Wilson, tied at 2 apiece. And Ben Johns unable to do anything with that one. The winner of this will meet Jay DeVilliers and Tyson
3, 2,
McGuffin
1.
for the championship tomorrow.
Let's go.
How about that, Thomas Wilson? And it's a 4-2 lead.
Let's go.
Taking a page out of Matt Wright's book.
That's right. A little premature come on.
Second serve.
And Ben Johns wins that firefight.
Anything you can do, I can do better, says Ben Johns.
4-2-2.
Koller was on this center court yesterday alongside his doubles partner, Callie Smith, for seemingly hours on end. They ended up falling in the bronze medal match to Thomas Wilson and Grichkina.
That's who we talked about earlier there, that lob reaching in on the dink. All the players' weights are all forward into the kitchen. That's a great mix-up.
Both sides being patient until it finally gets sped up and Koller able to win it.
Yeah, if you look at the way AJ Koller holds that paddle, very low on the handle, gives him a little extra reach, very long, low, bending down, able to flick a lot of balls that most players can't.
Goes to the lob. And that's going to be long, so it's a side out.
2-6-1. Second serve.
How about the reaction out of AJ Koller? I'm sitting here and I'm looking, by the way, Matt, you were talking in the last match that we had about how far off the kitchen line Anna Bright and Jesse Irvin were playing. And I'm looking here at these four players, and it's like at times you'd have a tough time fitting a dime between their toe and the line. They're so up on it.
Yeah, so the reason for that is, I mean, closer you are to that kitchen line, the more balls you can take out of the air. That's putting pressure on your opponent. These guys don't want to give any space. They want to make that area for their opponent to get into extremely small. Anything that's a little high is going to be put away. Extremely high level pickleball from these guys.
Koller goes to the lob, tracked down by Collin Johns. Ben and Collin both able to get back to the kitchen line. And Ben with the flick and the finish. So make it 4-6.
4-6-2. Point.
And it tightens up to 5-6. Neither team really
5-6-2.
able to establish much momentum so far in this first game. But the Johns are trying to find some right now.
Side out.
And it's quickly broken up out
That's the second time Collins tried to do that. A little
6-5-1.
head fake and then go towards the middle. AJ's reading that quite well.
Ben puts that one away. Move to 6-5-2.
One of the strongest overheads, I think, on tour is Ben Johns. Has so much lead tape on that paddle, that Yola paddle. Plus a lot of strength. It's not coming back.
Thomas Wilson wins that exchange. So back to a 2-point cushion.
Side out.
Oh, off the net, tried to catch up to it.
I think AJ looking for a quick sorry. He wasn't getting it from the net or the Johns brothers.
Point.
And the net's still not his friend. Back to a 1-point game.
6-7-1. Second serve.
Move to 6-7-2.
6-7-2. Side out.
Side out gets it back to Koller and Wilson with a 1-point lead. Decent crowd on hand in Cincinnati on this
7-6-1.
Saturday afternoon, now approaching evening in Cincinnati.
Point.
Good third shot drop there, setting that up. Collin kind of off balance, leaving that a little bit high. And as we said, these guys are crowding the kitchen line. Anything left high is going to be put away.
Second serve.
Third shot drive that time, and he drove it right off the court.
Oh, yeah.
8-6-2.
That drive probably hit Kings Island across the road.
So you get a stuffed animal with that?
I hope so.
Point.
9-6 now in favor of Koller and Wilson.
9-6-2.
And now we've reached a game point here in game one.
Timeout. Receivers. 10-6-2.
And Collin Johns, I know it wasn't Ben, Collin Johns calls a timeout. We'll step aside, 10-6 in Cincy. Well, the crowd getting pumped up. Koller and Wilson should be pumped up. They're a point away from taking a one-game-to-none lead in this best 2 out of 3.
10-6-2.
Against the #1 seeded team of Collin and Ben Johns. Nice job by Wilson to catch up to that off the net. But finally that exchange is won by Team Johns. And they stave off losing this game, at least for the moment.
Yeah, I like that A.J. Koller and Wilson tried to slow that down for a second, but Ben was trying to speed it up over and over and over again.
6-10-2.
Wasted opportunity there, so we move to 6-10-2. That's out.
Side out.
So game point #2.
10-6-1. Second serve.
Move to 10-6-2. Game point #3.
Ten-6-2.
Handful of nice defensive shots until Ben Johns finally is able to finish it.
Not sure I love that lob play on the third shot on game point.
Let's go!
Oh, he lets it go. It lands in.
That is some fancy paddle work. Holds it to the last second. Really gets on the inside of that ball. Carves it across the left side of Ben Johns.
So 6-10-2.
Side out.
That is
Point.
gonna just miss. And makes it 7-10.
7-10.
Make it 8-10. I feel like the Johns just haven't really
8-10-2.
had a sustained run of momentum here, but you feel like it could be coming. And now they've closed it to just a single point at 9-10.
And that's 2 really big misses for
9-10-2.
Koller. Balls that he should put away. Now the pressure is definitely on Koller and Wilson.
Well, they come back with an answer. And we'll have game point #4.
10-9-1. Second serve.
Game point #5.
Ben kind of baited him into that shot.
10-9-2.
Left it there, tried to do that same inside of the ball carve.
And finally, Koller puts it away. It took 5 chances to close out the game, but Koller and Wilson do take game 1, 11-9. Game 2 coming your way after this quick break. Back in Cincinnati, Koller and
Game
Wilson
two, time in.
halfway
2-2.
home to a date on Championship Sunday against McGuffin and de Villiers. But Johns and Johns
Point.
still a chance to be able to emerge, and they get an early 1-0 lead here in game 2.
Yeah, they're really gonna have to be careful here early to not let Ben assert himself in a major way. They need to play patient,
1-0-2.
not attack too early. Really interesting start here.
You'll do. You. Point.
And Ben John's starting to flex a little muscle. Gets it to 2-0.
2-0-2. You. Point.
Oh, hey, that's why he's the #1 ranked
Yep.
player.
Taking over. That ball that he left there for Koller, like I said earlier, is the ball that's supposed to bait you. He knows Koller's going to attack that. Collin's so good at working together, being ready for that backhand.
AJ, nice job catching up to that one off the net, and then Collin hits it long.
Zero, 3-1. Second serve.
Ben Johns just has such quick hands.
0-3-2.
Yeah, keeping everything out in front. There's no swings that are going behind his body.
Oh,
Side out.
nice reflexes by Collin that time. And the serve back over to Team Johns with a 3-0 lead.
Side out. Force.
Ben has found his groove right now.
Oh, in a major way.
4-0-1.
He wants to play in at least 2 championships on Sunday.
Exactly.
Well
power
placed
there.
shot there.
Point.
Did they call foot foul? I believe they did.
5-0-1.
So it makes it 5-0.
Like to see the replay of that.
Second serve. 5-0-2.
Collin able to catch up to it.
Great speed up there.
Really was. Let's go back to that foot fault. Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
much, but there was there.
That left foot right on the kitchen line.
And now the Johns with all kinds of momentum. 7-0.
Timeout receiver, 7-0-2.
And Koller and Wilson decide they're going to use the timeout. We'll take a break as well. Back to Cincinnati in a moment.
Two timeouts.
Dave
One
Bentz,
timeout.
Matt Manassi, happy to have you along here on Tennis Channel
Timeout.
as we are in game 2 of this men's pro doubles semifinal.
7-0-2.
The winner to move on to Championship Sunday. Koller and Wilson were
7-0-2.
able to hold off Ben and Collin Johns in game 1, but Ben and Collin have found some momentum here in game 2. out of the timeout, however. The stop and the side out.
0-7-1. Point.
And that flick just long.
It looks like Koller, Wilson
1-7-1.
changed sides, trying to get a little different look to the Johns brothers.
Football. Left foot. Point.
And they're going to call foot fault here on Collin Johns. Nisha
2-7-1.
Smith. Nisha Smith was on it.
That's a great call. Those size 12 and a halves get you every time.
Second serve.
Oh, Ben Johns moves it to the second server. 2-7-2.
2-7-2.
Thomas saying so stupid of him to do that, speeding up to the Ben Johns forehand.
Now they're both going to the lob.
Side out.
AJ Koller was having a hard time really getting into a comfortable position, and Ben just kept attacking him.
Yeah, it's tough in pickleball. You don't want to attack
7-2-1.
from a position of weakness as you're moving. If you're off balance, Ben was out in the kitchen line, just stagnant at all the position.
Point.
Koller tried to mix it up, but instead it's point number 8 for
8-2-1.
Team Johns.
Point.
And make it a 9-2 lead. Koller and Wilson do have one timeout remaining.
9-2-1.
They'll probably take it if this gets to 10-2. Or should I say when it gets to 10-2, which it is 10-2, but then Koller just waved Thomas off and said, no, let's just play it.
Yeah, their their mind's already in game 3.
10-2-1.
Oh, Ben tries to go for the Baird.
The Baird. Wanted that little wry smile out of him. Does not normally miss that one.
10-2-2. Football. Point.
And they're going to call another foot fault, and that's going to end game number 2. 11-2 in favor of Team Johns. So a third and decisive game upcoming on Tennis Channel. Baird Wealth Management Open. Final game of the day.
Time in. 0-0-2.
And a decisive game 3 for a berth in the final on Championship Sunday. The Johns brothers finally found their groove in that second game. But in the match that preceded this, we thought the Team Waters found their groove in the second game and thought that momentum would carry into game 3, and it did not. So would not be surprised to see this thing go either way.
I love the start there for Koller and Wilson. Definitely trying to go after Collin Johns more, slowing the pace of this down, not letting Ben control things. It's going to take longer, but this is how they need to play this third game.
Side out.
Backhand overhead there by Collin is effective.
I think there was a shot
0-1-1.
halfway through that point where Wilson had a forehand he could have flicked. Just the little differences in this game.
Second serve.
Move to 0-1-2.
0-1-2. Side out.
And the side out.
1-0-1. Second serve.
Nice shot there by Collin.
1-0-2. Really? Side out.
Here, Thomas expresses frustration with not being able to get it over the net.
Yeah, he's doing a good job getting that
0-1-1.
paddle tip down below the ball, but tried to get a little bit too much topspin on it. Rolled off that paddle into the net.
Ben and AJ trading backhand dinks right now. Then Koller speeds it up.
That's big time from AJ. The ability to put that second hand on the paddle and create something off the backhand side.
Takes it to 0-1-2. Koller hits that one long. So we're tied at 1. You're right, strap yourself in because we might be here a little while.
This one's more of a patient game. Thomas has definitely made a decision to not go after forehands. He's being consistent, letting AJ be the aggressor.
Side out.
Last game when Thomas was reaching into that kitchen and trying to
1-1-1.
attack Ben, he was getting in a lot of trouble. This game, he's totally made a change to slow it down, which I think is in their favor.
Second serve.
AJ into the net, moves us to 1-1-2.
1-1-2. Side out.
That side out gets it back to Team Johns. Jay DeVilliers and Tyson McGuffin awaiting the winner of this one on Championship Sunday. Backhand ATP for the win.
Ben John's signature. Ooh.
That might not have found the painted part of the court, but you can't blame Thomas Wilson for trying to make a play on it.
No. Yeah. Point.
Ben reacted like he thought that one was in,
3-1-1.
but instead,
Point. Timeout received. 4-1-1.
so 4-1-1 and a timeout being taken. We'll step aside. Back to Cincinnati in a moment. Another ATP and another winner for Ben Johns.
5-1-1.
5-1-1. It's 5-1-1 in
Second
favor
serve.
of Team Johns. And now we go to 5-1-2.
5-1-2. Point, timeout. Switch
Well,
ends.
at 6-1, Koller and Wilson are going to use their second and final timeout.
Yeah, all the momentum with the Johns brothers. It's unfortunate because you're stuck between a rock and a hard place if you're Koller and Wilson. You try to slow things down, you're trying to play the right way, but then you're predictable. And then the Johns can attack you at will. And that's what's going on right now. And then the last 2 points, just trying to press. Like we talked about earlier, we're not going to be able to make this 5-point deficit back in one shot. It's going to have to be methodical, but we'll see what they can come up with. They're good. Their hands are going to have to be quicker. May have to get a bit lucky here too. What do you think?
First thing you got to do is you got to get the serve back.
Yep.
And right now, it's all momentum for the Johns. That's the other thing about Collin and Ben is not only are they fantastic players, but you know, in talking to them and spending time with them, the way that they see the game and that they can recognize things and make those adjustments is part of the reason why they are so extraordinary.
Yeah. Well, they barely. They don't play much rec in terms of like recreational games when it's not a match. They just drill. So they can hit every shot. They practice with each other on a lot of just situational pickleball. And that seems to be the way to win big-time events.
By the way, I mistakenly called that timeout a timeout. It was actually the side switch. So Koller and Wilson still do have one timeout remaining.
Point.
But Johns and Johns, right now, nothing is stopping their momentum.
Yeah. Point.
Wow. That was textbook Ben Johns right there, taking everything Thomas Wilson could throw at him. And then another ridiculous winner by Ben Johns.
You got to see this again.
Oh, Thomas overcommitting to the ATP, but somehow, I don't know how he got around that ball. Rightfully so pumped up. Big time from Ben Johns.
And that one was going to find the court.
Side out.
So the side out after that one does catch the line, but
1-8-1.
at 1-8, Koller and Wilson, and a big hole. Collin flicks it right past A.J. Koller to make it 1-8-2.
1-8-2.
Yeah, Ben and Collin just do such a good job of when you do attack them, they can soften that hold on their paddle and really ridiculous Ernie overhead angle.
Yeah, and the deception, it was, I mean, that had everything.
Where'd the other ball go?
I'm speechless. That was ridiculous.
That's what makes Ben Johns, Ben Johns.
As David Dobrik would say, that was insane.
Yeah, Ben is definitely
8-1-1.
made up a mind that he's not going to be deprived of a chance for 2 titles tomorrow, it looks like.
Point.
And now the serve and the winner puts them just 2 points away.
9-1-1.
9-1-1. That score is fitting. Emergency right now for Koller Wilson.
Well said.
Second serve.
9-1-2.
9-1-2. No. Side out.
Well, Collin tried to execute it, couldn't. So Koller and Wilson still breathing at 1-9.
Rung it off the post.
191. Second serve.
A wasted opportunity there.
192.
192.
Side out.
And the serve going back over to Team Johns. They need 2 points to close out this match.
911.
And make it match point.
It's a runaway train.
10-1-1.
Make a stop here.
Second serve.
Misfire there by Ben.
10-1-2.
So it'll be up to Collin to try to close it out here. Second match point. Oh, Koller says, all right, I want to play a little longer.
Level of difficulty in that flick to get that much pace on it. Spin.
And as we were coming out of the replay, Koller nearly an identical play.
2-10-1.
That time for a point, though.
Second serve.
That long, so we'll move to server number 2.
Two. Let's go. Side out.
Hear Ben say, let's go, as the serve's going back to Team Johns with another match point.
10-2-1.
Is the third try the charm? Indeed it is. That's all she wrote. 9-11, 11-2, 11-2. Ben and Collin Johns are advancing to Championship Sunday.
And it's more of the same, more of what we're used to from Johns and Johns. Tough first game. Koller Wilson came out strong, but a great adjustment and some pretty one-way traffic. But tomorrow's final, Villian McGuffin, Johns and Johns. With a lot of firepower, a lot of star power. Very excited for that one.
Should be a whole lot of fun tomorrow. One of 5 championship matches on Championship Sunday. And the men's doubles, you mentioned it, DeVilliers and McGuffin against Johns and Johns. We're going to step aside when we come back. Speaking of Johns, Hannah Johns will speak to her victorious brothers. Stay with us.
Well, welcome back, everyone. You just got to watch the match that ushered Ben and Collin Johns into Championship Sunday tomorrow. Speaking of Ben, I've got him here on court. I don't have Collin, but I'm able to have a few words with Ben Johns. Ben, they tried switching AJ to the right side, Thomas to the left a few times after they got down big in games 2 and 3. What were they trying to create with that change?
I think they were trying to change up the pattern. Yeah, I think we kind of got in a little bit of a groove in games 2 and 3 in the formation they had. So yeah, just changing it up can do a lot in pickleball. Luckily, I think we buckled down and focused despite the change, so it all came out good.
Well, you came out so strong after losing game 1. What are the ideal conditions for you personally to play in on court and off?
Well, I love an energetic crowd. That's number 1. So hopefully you guys are bringing that tomorrow. Am I right? Let's go. So yeah, that, and then I think, just a nice court like this, and I think that's all I need. So yeah, it was perfect.
Well, speaking of that, it's our first time in Ohio, our first time in Cincinnati. This is the biggest pickleball tournament we've ever held in the Midwest. How cool is it to play in a big tennis facility like this? Did you ever dream of playing in a place like this when you were young?
I can't say I thought about it too much, but I think it speaks a lot to pickleball and tennis kind of working together, and I think pickleball has immense growth, and if the two sports work together, then there's a lot of things we can do. So I think it's really good kind of recognition and another step forward for pickleball.
Absolutely. Congratulations again, Ben. We'll see you on Championship Sunday tomorrow. Turning it over to our friends in the studio, Dave and Matt.
All right, thank you very much, Hannah. Congratulations, Ben and Collin. And it's going to be a full slate tomorrow. Gets underway at 10 a.m. Eastern. So we'll start off with Anna Leigh Waters and Leah Jansen, followed by Tyson McGuffin and Hunter Johnson. That'll wrap up the singles, and then we'll get to the doubles. De Villiers McGuffin against Johns and Johns, Jansen Parento against Bright and Irvin, and it'll finish up with Irvin and De Villiers against Anna Leigh Waters and Ben Johns. Going to be a fun championship Sunday in Cincinnati.
It's going to be a crazy slate on Sunday. I'm pumped. 7 a.m. is early here on the West Coast to call it, but I could not wait to get up and watch these awesome athletes perform. It's going to be a great championship Sunday in Cincinnati.
That's going to wrap it up for pickleball, but still a full day ahead on Tennis Channel. TC Live at the U.S. Open is still to come. You don't want to miss that. For everybody here at Tennis Channel, I'm Dave Ben saying thanks for watching the PPA Tour. We'll see you tomorrow for Championship Sunday right here on Tennis Channel.
Catch action at one of Pro Pickleball's top events, the Baird Wealth Management Open. Yeah! Championship Sunday, live tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Well, we are off to a fantastic start here.